Okay. Hey, everyone. My name's Fred Egler. Super excited to have you all here today. Thanks for joining our Premium Office Hours webinar. I'm our lead product manager for Premium, and I'm joined here today by Sam Drackett, who is our senior product manager for Premium as well. We're super excited to be with you today to show you some really cool stuff that Premium has to offer, answer some of your questions. And just so you're all aware, this webinar will be recorded and sent out within a few days after the call. So keep on the lookout for that. And then as we go along here, please type questions into the chat. Don't wait until the end to type questions into the chat. Please type them at the very beginning, the middle. Don't wait to type your questions in at the end, and we'll get to those questions kind of after we go through some things. So, with that being said, Sam and I are super excited to kind of share some new features with you today and really just make you kind of more aware and help you understand, ways you can find everything you need to know about, a company in one easy to use report using AI, analyze trending tech and momentum stocks, for example, some of the most compelling analyst picks, how your portfolio is doing on a day-to-day basis in one kind of easy to digest feed. We're also going to demonstrate how to effectively track performance and growth with our kind of robust portfolio tracking tools. And then really show you how to find potential high performing stocks that suit your criteria. So we're going to do all of that, and then we're going to leave some time for questions. Before I get into the good stuff, I do have to go through our disclosure. Bear with me real quick. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Any views or opinions expressed in the webinar do not reflect those of Seeking Alpha as a whole. Any content and tools on the platform are offered for information purposes only. Seeking Alpha Portfolio is a tool for tracking news and analysis and does not constitute a brokerage account or enable any trading activity. Seeking Alpha does not take account of your objectives or your financial situation and does not offer any personalized investment advice. Seeking Alpha is not a licensed securities dealer, broker, U.S. investment advisor, or investment bank. Awesome. So we've got that out of the way. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Sam to get started on walking you all through some super exciting, super valuable features that we have to offer in Premium. And like I said, please put your questions in the chat here as we go along throughout the webinar. So Sam, go ahead and take it away.
Great. Thanks, Fred, and thank you everyone for joining. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. And Fred, let me know if you can see this.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm going to cover two different topics with you guys today. The first one is going to be the Virtual Analyst Report, and the second one is going to be customizing your homepage to look at three particular cards that are really useful to add to your homepage. So the first one is called the Analyze with AI. So this opens the Virtual Analyst Report for most stocks on the symbol page. You'll see it right here in an orange button. And for premium or pro users, this is a really valuable feature to get a quick high-level summary of all the key information that we've aggregated from our very big library of financial data as well as analysis articles. So for example, we have Apple here. And when we open the Virtual Analyst Report, this is going to mimic something similar to what a equity research analyst at a bank might put together. So you're going to have some of the key metrics here at the top. And then everything you need to know about this company, including the description, a breakdown of our quant factors, and a lot of key articles are all going to be contained in this report. So here we have a high-level description of Apple, who they are, what they do, where they're based. And then also a summary of some of the key competitors and the unique value proposition that Apple has in this particular sector. And for those of you who are not familiar with the quant rating system, this is a proprietary system to Seeking Alpha. It's very powerful, and what it does is it compares hundreds of different metrics across a complete sector to show how a particular stock or ETF ranks related to its peers. And one of the key features of the Virtual Analyst Report is you also get a dynamic breakdown of each of the 5 factors related to the quant system. So the text in here is dynamic, and you'll notice that this report was generated on December 3rd. So this will update from time to time when key metrics have changed. But for example, valuation, we can see that Apple has a substantially higher price to book ratio. And you can explain a lot of things about why this would be important as you're reviewing different stocks and benchmarking them against different stocks in the same sector. So we have this explanation for valuation, growth, profitability, momentum, and revisions. And one other really important feature here is this is a dynamic summary of some of the positives and concerns raised by the ecosystem of analysts who contribute to Seeking Alpha. So here you can see some of the strengths about Apple, and then also the relevant article that this was pulled from. And on the flip side, you can also see certain concerns that were raised. For example, Apple may be affected by rising tariffs, costly AI infrastructure, and you can dive into each of those articles here as well. So here we have additional information and then also a lengthier explanation about the virtual analyst reports as well. So this tool is especially useful if you're not familiar with a particular company. This gives you a very good high level dive into the company and some of those pros and cons. So switching gears here, the other topic that I mentioned is customizing your homepage. So especially if you're a new user, this is a really powerful way to highlight the content that you want to see that's relevant to you right on the homepage. So if you open the left navigation pane, you'll see the little pencil icon here. And what this will do is let you pick the specific cards and types of analysis or information that you'd like to see. So I've already selected three that I'm particularly interested in. So here you can find the first one in this category. You can also see in analysis and in quant ratings. This is where we've pulled from. So whenever you selected the information you want to see, click done. And right under this bar here, where it says customize your topics, you'll see in order the cards that you've selected. So the first one is most compelling analyst ideas. On every single article, users are able to vote yes or no whether or not they found the analysis article helpful and compelling. So these are some of the top ones that are recently trending that users feel like is a very compelling analysis article. And we can view the symbol, or we can actually jump into each of the articles here, and you can see who the analyst was. The second really powerful one is portfolio movers. So this gives you a high level view of all the biggest movers up or down across all of your portfolios. So it's a really quick way to just jump in and see what the movement has looked like across your ecosystem of portfolios. And also useful here, you can jump into the headlines related to these particular stocks or ETFs as well. And the last one that I'll cover, you can do this for nearly any sector or industry, but we've selected tech and communication stocks. So these are ones that have recently had a change to quant ratings, and this is filtered, as you can see, by strong buy. But these are split up across large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So again, this is a really powerful feature, and I definitely encourage everybody to play around with it, customizing your homepage and trying to find all the information that's most useful for you. And with that, I will pass it back to Fred.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, super, super helpful there. Super helpful to go through the virtual analyst report. A few questions came in on virtual analyst report. I think one of them was related to which analyst does the AI tool source? That's basically all of our analysts who are posting. So it comes from our, entire ecosystem of Seeking Alpha analysts. Recently published articles will show up in there, and that guides the rating and guides the report. We don't want to use old reports. So we're trying to look at recently published reports in the virtual analyst report. And that's for all of our analysts, not just a specific subset of analysts or anything like that. Um, so with that, I'm going to get into two other kind of valuable features as well. One is kind of demonstrating how you can effectively track performance in growth with our portfolio tools. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me one second. Sam, you can see that?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So I'm on the home page. I'm going to go to our portfolio feature, and I want to show you how to create custom views with portfolios. So portfolios are here on the left-hand side. You can use portfolios for a number of different reasons to track, for example, a watch list of stocks you haven't yet invested in but are interested in, for stocks that you actually have started to invest in, like this growth portfolio here or this dividend portfolio here. So you can kind of use it as you go along in your investing journey from research to just keeping an eye on some stocks to actually investing in those stocks. And one way you can track performance and just track different metrics of your portfolio or your watch list is by creating custom portfolio views. To do that, you click on this button here on the right called Add Edit Views. And once you click on that, it gives you the ability to pick from a wide variety of categories like our factor grades, our ratings, our holdings, earnings, and dividends. Um, and gives you the ability to select each one and have them show up in a column on your portfolio page. So I've basically, for example, gone to, let's see, ratings here on the left. I'm going to select quant, essay, um, overall, well, actually, consecutive days at quant rating and number of analysts covering. And I want those to show up in my custom portfolio view. And I'm going to take away maybe just change and I'll keep change percentage there. And I'm interested in actually understanding some more about the performance of these. So I'm going to click on performance here and I'm going to add in 1 week, uh, 6 months, and year to date. And I'm going to hit done and I'm going to hit apply to selected portfolios. You can actually apply this view that I just selected to multiple portfolios at the same time. So kind of like a bulk add. And I'm just going to apply to the one that we have here. So I'm going to hit apply to selected portfolios. And what you can see now is this tab called My View 1 pops up, comes up on the right. I can actually drag it all the way over here and reorder it so that it comes up first on the left. What you can see now is the different columns that I selected. So you can see I have price, I have the change today, I have the actual quant rating here of each one of these, I have the SA analyst rating, and I have the days at rating and number of analysts covering as well. Those are helpful to show you how long a stock's been at a certain quant rating and how many analysts are covering a certain stock. I'm actually going to hit these three ellipses to edit the view. So I'm going to hit that, then hit edit, and I'm actually going to reorder them. I'm going to put consecutive days at quant rating next to quant rating, and that way SA analyst rating and number of SA analysts covering are by each other as well. Going to hit done. Now you can see they've been reordered. So I have the quant ratings here. I have the days of each one of them. I have the SA analyst rating, the number of analysts covering each one of those, and then performance. So 1 week, 6 months, year to date. You can add in, any number of performance timeframes that you'd like in there. Um, and I can, sort by each one of these. So I can see that this ticker here, HRTG, has been at a strong buy for 244 days. I can see, for example, if I sort by number of SA analysts covering, that STRT has three analysts covering the ticker and is a strong buy. They are saying it's a hold. Uh, ASM here is a strong buy and has three analysts covering it. So it just gives you a good idea of the number of analysts covering, the days at quant rating here, and then performance of your portfolio. And you can actually update this performance numbers by entering in the actual holdings. For example, if I were to go to maybe this dividend stocks portfolio on the left, I could actually enter in the holdings of my portfolio by clicking on Add Lot, entering the number of shares that I have, the date that I purchased it. Um, will actually update the price once you enter in the date that you purchased it to save you some manual entry. And you can hit save, and you'll see these performance numbers will actually change as you update the holdings. So you're able to add in your specific holdings, go in there, add in the number of shares, the purchase date. We'll save you some manual work, and then we'll calculate the performance for you. So that's just a really easy way to be able to to kind of effectively track performance in growth with some of these portfolio tools. There's one other one I wanted to mention too, this closed-end funds portfolio on the left. You can see I'm circling it here. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go ahead and create a new view for that one. And I'm going to select premium and discount If I click on that, I can then see maybe the SA analyst, something like that, and hit done and hit apply. And you can see I'm able to get the price. I'm able to get if these closed-end funds are trading at a premium or a discount in these portfolio views. And I'm able to see the SA analyst rating and the number of analysts covering as well. So for example, there's 8 analysts covering PDI. It's currently at a premium and it's currently at a hold. So another way you can use, the custom portfolio views is to, measure closed-end funds there at a premium and a discount. So yeah, that's one of the big ones I wanted to walk through. The next one I want to walk through is our screener functionality. So I really want to kind of show you, which is in the bottom left here, how you can find some high potential performing stocks that might suit your criteria. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So if I click on any of these save screens on the left, you'll see that whenever I edit a screen or hit save, it'll show up here on the left. So I'd recommend that when you go through and use the screener functionality, you actually save one so that you can refer back to it easily here on the left. What I'm going to do now, though, is click on Create Screen. And that'll bring up kind of like our custom views, a bunch of different categories to choose from. Basically, you can think of these as filters or metrics. You're basically setting up your metrics to, filter down the stocks that you want to see. So we've got market cap, we've got quant rating, we've got SA analyst rating, we've got Wall Street analyst. So let's remove Wall Street analyst and dividend yield. And let's maybe go through and look at factor grades and potentially go into, momentum as well. I'm going to click next. And when I click next, you can see the filters come up to actually edit the parameters. So we start with this wide ecosystem of almost 24,000 stocks. As you edit these, you'll see the results will change. So I'll leave market cap as it is for now, but I'll change quant rating to strong buy. You can see how much that brought down the results, right? So you go from 24,000 to 360. I'll change SA analyst rating to strong buy, and now we're at a super small number of results. I'll include the buys as well in there just to see, we've got 225 results in there. And then you can filter by momentum as well. Now I'm down to an A plus in momentum factor grade. We're down to 47 results. Just for fun, you can see if you click on micro cap, it goes to 2 results, small cap, it goes to 18. We'll leave that alone for right now. You can click next. You'll be able to name the screen as you want. And you can add in a description here as well. And then once you hit done, you'll see that that's the name of it, and you'll be able to see the actual results. So you can see the names of these, you can see the quant rating, the SA analyst rating, the momentum, and you can save this screener as well. And it'll be in here as my test screen. Once I hit save as, you can see it now comes up on the left nav, and you can refer back to it pretty easily. I'm actually just going to edit this screen because I want to show that SA analyst covering as well. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to add that in here. I'm going to, let's see, maybe say 1 to 10 or 1 to 10 and, well, how about 11 to 20? And you'll see that that really narrows the results of the number of screener results that come up in here. And so I think there was actually a question that came in about how to build a portfolio using premium and which kind of like weekly stocks to add to a portfolio. This is a really good place to start. Create a screener, set up some parameters, refer back to it. And what you can easily do is then add this to a portfolio very quickly. So there's a plus portfolio button here on the right. You can click on that. It'll prompt you to select which ones. There's 3 here. I'm going to hit next. I'm actually going to create a new portfolio instead of adding it to an existing, which I can easily do. I'm going to create a new one. And now what you can see is my test screen is here as a portfolio that I can refer back to on a regular basis. And I can hit edit portfolio here and name it to, strong buy watch list or something like that so that you understand kind of, what what the name of the portfolio is here. And what you can do also is click on Manage Alerts, which will set up any number of different alert settings for you pretty easily. For example, if you want to get alerts whenever the quant rating of one of these changes, maybe it goes from a strong buy to a buy or to a sell or something like that, you can click on this button right here, and you'll be set up to get alerts for these three whenever a rating changes for one of those. And you can easily just go back in and turn them off as well. So that's the screener functionality. They're available here on the left nav. You can hit create new screen to kind of get started with filtering, down by high performing stocks that might suit your criteria. Pretty straightforward and easy to do. Um, and so with that, we can probably open it up to questions. I've seen kind of a few come in here. I know there was one related to so there was one I tried with the virtual analyst report with FSCO, but the orange button didn't show up. Does this only work with stocks? So I'm just going to search FSCO in here. Go to the symbol page. Yeah, the virtual analyst report doesn't show up. There's not a quant rating associated with it, so the virtual analyst report wouldn't be in there. If you click on ratings, you can see why a stock maybe wouldn't have a quant rating. So if you're ever curious about why a stock's not covered, there's criteria on the ratings tab of that stock, and therefore the virtual analyst report will not show up either. Um, there was another question in here about how to identify, say, the top 10 reliable analysts using Premium. So one other benefit of Premium is we give you the ability to kind of sift down and filter down even further on some of our top analysts who write for Seeking Alpha. And you can find those people in the analysis left nav. So basically, if I click on analysis here, you'll see our analysis landing page comes up. And what you can see is on the right is our top analyst module. So actually, these are our top analysts based on, criteria of them writing submissions and articles, recommending how a certain submission or article or stock is going to perform, and then actually seeing if that does perform that way. So these are our top 15 analysts here on the right. You can see them all in here. You can easily follow them by clicking these plus icons. And if you click on See All Top Analysts, this link here, it'll take you to a kind of a further view into the top analyst functionality and into that top analyst ecosystem. Um, you can see there's 15 here, their average return, the latest coverage, basically each ticker that they've recently covered to figure out if they kind of suit your needs, and then the coverage date. So these are filtered right now or sorted by ranking. You can sort by coverage date and see that there was, an analyst who came out with a review just yesterday. And so these are kind of ways you can view our top analysts. And if you're interested in how our top analysts are actually kind of measured, there's a link in there for you to understand kind of the criteria of how they're measured. I'll put that into the chat real quick. So that's another one. And then Sam, I think we got one about technical analysis metrics and if
Yep,
we offer those. I don't know if you want to maybe go through a little bit of the advanced charting if you wouldn't mind.
sure.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Let me know if you're able to
Yep,
see this.
looks
Okay.
good.
So yeah, we had a question about technical analysis and specifically looking at moving averages and similar things like that. So we're back on the Apple homepage. So if we click the advanced charting button, you'll see it in the top left of the chart here. This will open a new tab with our advanced charting, and you can also make this full screen in the bottom right. But here we have a whole set of powerful features related to technical analysis. So the best place to start would be at the top right here. If you click indicators and then go to most popular, you can click moving average. And here it looks like I've already got a couple added into the chart. So each time you click it, it'll add a new moving average. So right now, if we hover over it, we see we have a 50-day moving average in red and then a 200 moving average in green. So if you want to customize this, you can right click and click Edit Settings. And then, for example, I could adjust this to 60. I could change the color and customize a few other settings as well. And you can control the time series. You can also customize the chart type as well. So currently we have candle, but we could switch this to mountain. And this is a really powerful tool. You have a whole suite of different indicators, and you can also save custom views. So if you have a specific set of technical indicators that you like, you can save these views and then quickly reapply them to other symbols as well.
Awesome. That looks good. One other question someone had was, can you edit the standard tabs in the portfolio in your portfolio?
So just jumped over to an example portfolio. So this is going to be a mix of some permanent tabs as well as some that can be customized. So things like summary and holdings, for the most part, these are going to be permanent. You can move them around, hide certain things, but a lot of the power here is really unlocked with creating custom views. So here you can see my view 1, 2, and 3. You can also create new ones from scratch, but I'm going to click my view 2 and then click the little edit button here. And this is going to open up a modal with all the different metrics and different types of columns of data that you might want to add. So here we can delete a few. And for example, we could go into earnings, upcoming announce date. We could go into ETF grades and pull some of those quantitative ETF grades and add them here as well. So here, this lets you customize all the different columns that are important to you. And this will remain in your portfolio, and you can adjust this, delete it, add new ones later.
Yeah, and one thing you can do here too is if you hit on add/edit views and then go to edit views at the top, you can hide some of those. You can reorder them and you can hide some of the like default tabs if they're not your speed and you just want to see your custom view tabs, for example, you can hide those as well. So we give you a lot of customization with how you can set up your watch list and how you can set up your portfolios in here to make sure that you are able to see what you want to see. We've got a couple questions about when the next one of these is going to be. We're trying to do these every month. The next one will be probably one where you can sign up on our events page. I'm just going to drop the link in the chat right now. I'm going to drop a few links in the chat because that's something that's coming. Be on the lookout for our Top Stocks 2026 event with Steve Kress. That's going to be live and a live event only accessible to paying subscribers, which is all of you, which is great, on January 6th. So there's a link in the chat that I just sent as well. And then we have a lot of short form videos describing some of the things that we just went through. They're like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes on how to do things like add custom views, how to go through screeners, how to work on advanced charting, what are quant ratings. And I'm sending in that link right now, which will just take you to some of those as well. And then finally, we do come out with on Fridays a weekly quiz to test your knowledge of the investment news. So you can read all the news and analysis on Seeking Alpha, stay up to date, and then on Fridays, take our quiz, see how you stacked up against other Seeking Alpha subscribers, and that is available just at the link below as well. So want to keep this to 30 minutes. Appreciate everyone's time. We'll do another one of these soon. Thank you so much, and appreciate you all hopping on with us. Have a good day.